Yeah, I'm going to put you guys on mute for a few.
Gotta find the intro. Good evening, and welcome to Afterdark. Tonight we're here with Colonel Richard Still, Fleet Captain John Rogers of the Constellation, Jeff from Comms, and Commander Kevin Plummer from the USS Columbus, and obviously Captain Drew and me. And welcome. So before the show, we were talking about how we're enjoying the new Star Trek and talking about the differences in technology. So we thought we'd bring that back. Oh, here, you can answer that, Rogers.
Low blood pressure. People aren't pissing me off enough, apparently.
Evening, Fran.
And this is Cindy. Hey, Cindy.
Hey, Brian. Hey, Cindy.
So,
hey, Facebook user.
So let's see.
Somebody forgot to say, sure, use my name.
All right.
Yeah, the episodic show makes a big difference when you don't have to go back and go, what did I miss last week? So,
Hello, Mike.
Jeff,
And yes.
you had some stuff to talk about with your.
Oh, yeah, I got lots of stuff to last about 3 seconds. No, I'm kidding. Let me announce this. We got a passing in the world of the communications department as of May 2nd. May 2nd, we unfortunately lost our vice chief of manuals and publication. Her main job was to collect the CQs that haven't been collected, manuals that we've not used in a long time, such as old um, handbooks and stuff, and also a few other things directed to her. But she passed away. I don't know why, what the problem was. She had been sick during the last year. I believe she did have a heart ailment, but I'm not sure about that. We're so sad about it. We send our condolences not only to the family and friends of TJ Feldman, but also to the USS Roger Williams in Rhode Island, as that was her chapter, and uh, that she'd been aboard, and we were so blessed to have her as a member of the communications department. However, since her passing, I placed on our humanoid resources. I want to say something about humanoid resources after this. I placed an ad on humanoid resources announcing that it will be the opening in what we are calling the Vice Chief of Communications, now called Awards Manuals and Publications, with the added duty of helping me create an newsletter award system in the communications department. More on that later. And we filled the position Wednesday. We got a very, very overqualified person, I might add. And I told him that. But I'm not going to pass him up just because of that. Commander Dave Lowry of the USS Continuum is our new Vice Chief of Awards, Manuals, and Publications. He will continue the mission TJ was to do, and with the added um, responsibilities of establishing the newsletter awards. Now, we have decided how we're going to do it for this year. Next year will probably be a different thing. This year, we're going to concentrate on regional newsletters and chapter newsletters, whether you be a full chapter in standing or a shakedown cruise. But if you do a newsletter, get your best one, send it in. Now, I'm going to read an announcement from uh, from the vice chief, which he sent out earlier today, and I forwarded on our listservs and through our Facebook pages. The Chief of Starfleet Communications cordially solicits nominations from across the fleet to compete for two of Starfleet's most prestigious communication-centric awards, the Best Regional Newsletter and the Best Chapter Level Newsletter. For the calendar year 2021, submissions will be limited to a single electronic edition newsletter from each chapter or region that was published or distributed at some point during the calendar year 2021. An individual submission may be made regardless of whether the specific period of time covered was a monthly, bi-monthly, or quarterly publication time frame. The Starfleet Communications team simply wants to see your best work. Nominations may be submitted in PDF format via email to comms@sfi.org. That's my personal, or I should say, it's not my personal address, but it is the address that leads to me. And I will get them over to our vice chief. His email is not yet up or transferred over to him, and will be accepted from the date of this announcement through Friday, July 1st, 2022. Nominations submissions must include the name, email, telephone contact for the respective RCCO, either the unit's chief of communications or newsletter editor for coordination and notification purposes. Region level nominations may be submitted by the regional coordinator or that region's designated newsletter editor, whether it be the communications officer or such. Chapter level nominations may be submitted by the chapter CO, XO, chief of communications, or communications chief in this case, or the chapter's designated newsletter editor. Thank you for your time and attention. Our team of communicators are looking forward to highlighting and recognizing the hard work and talents of Starfleet's communication across the fleet. Now, I want to emphasize this year again will only be for regions and chapters. Next year, we're going to start with a third category next year. We're not going to do it this year. We just want to get the feel of this. Next year is our intention to add divisions, whether it be Starfleet Marine Corps, science, medical. If those divisions have a newsletter they send out, we're going to ask you to, for the 2022 year, for that particular newsletter. But this year we're going to stay with just the regions and the chapters, as this is our first year that we have restarted this award system. Now, most people are going to ask me, what do you get for that? And I say, the truth is, we're just going to limit it to this year certificate, which will be transmitted through email since we're doing the virtual RC. Other than that, I want to welcome again David Lowry as our new vice chief. He has plenty of experience. He's a professor at Northeastern University. I believe the field is homeland security or something like that. And he is also a retired lieutenant colonel from the United States Air Force. So he's got a lot of things he's done in his life. And he did join Starfleet before he went into the Air Force and had to leave because, of course, commitments, family, that kind of stuff. And he's come back. So and I know he's going to do a great job because he jumped all over this all over the awards here. So he's been right on top of it, getting it out in 2 days. 2 days. So thank you, David, and we salute you for that. And also, I wanted to mention our great humanoid resource team, our HR. Now, there are a few things I might have missed with them, but they had the ad up within a day after I had sent them the information. And within a couple of days, we got David's application for the position. So our divisions, our brigades, if you got a position that needs to be filled, go to our humanoid resources. Right, Steve? I guess not.
Right,
But
Jeff.
I would say so, because that's a great thing we've got here. Our humanoid resources is there to help, and they've done a great job so far. I can only give them kudos. So thank you, Greg, out there, our director of HR. So, hi, Steve. Long time no see.
Hello.
Well, what's been going on with you, my friend?
Not actually on my computer. Actually, as you see, I've got drill in the morning. I turn 38 years old tomorrow, and I'll be working a 12-hour shift. So I wasn't staying in long. I just want to pop in here for a minute. I got going and shave and get my uniform ready and be up at old dark 30. So
Well, have fun, as much fun as you can at a drill.
So Steve's the youngest one on the show right now, right?
yes, but Steve's also one that could boot you down to a chief petty officer too. Shame on you, Richard, making fun of the CS's age.
I mean, there are a lot of May birthdays I've known.
I'm just jealous. What do you want?
Oh,
Yeah,
a
right.
lot of May birthdays.
I'd love to be 8 years younger.
So
Hell, I'll go back to 38.
the wife is watching right now,
Hi,
and
Amber.
she knows that I have drill in the morning. And see, she's not here tonight because she's actually working. She's having to take some rail crew people up to the trains, and she's going to have a 15-hour workday. But I will have to leave the house before she'll get home. Hopefully, maybe, probably not. So I plan on shaving everything but my mustache because she can't actually shave it off. She does not like me with my mustache. She says it looks very negative on me. And I'm kind of tired of having a baby face. So. And hello to Mike Calhoun, the newly elected R12 RC.
Congratulations, Mike.
And I get on here, everybody's quiet. That's pretty bad.
Oh, I don't know what
I'll
it
get
is.
busted down to chief petty officer if I say what I
You might.
Wow.
Why are you back in the hospital again, John?
Low blood pressure. People haven't pissed me off enough this week.
Oh, well, I'll have to fix that. If you
It
have
won't be difficult.
if you have a problem with Starfleet, anything at all, whether it's promotions or academy not working, go and vent to John Rogers at exo@theconnie.org or rentacop@gmail.com. Make his blood pressure go up and up and up.
No, we
Well,
don't
that's
want to
okay.
do
They'll
that
just send
to
me
you.
back for that. So it's all good.
John can take complaints from other fandoms too, like the Battlestar group.
Hey man, I have broad shoulders. I can handle it.
He has to be my exo for almost a decade.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
this is one of
well,
those things I wasn't gonna say.
Right. It is a beautiful night out. I see the stars. It's 81 degrees out. And I hear crickets. And I did James Cecil. I did pay my electric bill. If not, this light over me, this is not the moon, my friend. It's not that damn bright out here.
Fair enough.
Who's going to award the Starfleet Cross this year? Am I? I don't know. I haven't seen any Starfleet crosses come across my desk yet. Not one thing.
Hey, I sent my recommendations to Jeremy, like Jeremy asked me to. So you talk to Jeremy, because I did send them.
I have not got one. So there may be no Starfleet crosses this year. Sorry, guys.
Have
If
you
not,
gotten anything from Philip?
I haven't got one thing.
I'll have to talk to him.
So my suggestion is if you Marines think you deserve a Starfleet cross and you do not get one, I'd be climbing up somebody's ass, not mine.
I know what the document said. It said sent them to Jeremy, and Jeremy would forward it. So I know whose ass I'll be climbing up if you sit there later and go, nope, there were no things.
So if you are in Region 1 and you do not get a Starfleet cross, do not worry. I will be driving down to Texas with your RC. I will whoop his ass and leave him on the side of the ward. It's all good. Me and Philip Cox, we're gonna power drive it if you don't get those damn words in. You know, seriously, I haven't got one award Starfleet Cross at all yet. I will be going down to Region 3 Summit here in about 2 weeks or so, give or take, first week of June. I will be awarding some command stars, Starfleet International Command Stars down there, and a special ceremony down there for 2 RCs that will be there. If you are going to be in the area, I do implore you to come down. There will be a current sitting CS and a former retired CS that will be at this event. So I'm being told this is supposed to be a epic regional summit. So, and if you've not hung out and had fun with the CS at any past RCs or international conferences, you're missing, because I'm the life of the party. I'm a big idiot. I like to have fun.
Hence why you're CS.
No, I did that. I really look. Okay, hang on. What? I originally ran for CS. I didn't think I was going to win at all, and I did it. I came in third. But I mean, nobody knew me with my problem, and then I was like, okay, I'm new. I want to try to make a difference. Well, I got smacked down. So I really wasn't going to run again at all. And I started seeing more of the same BS bullcrap that was plaguing everything in Starfleet when I first joined. It's this good old boy club, and it just kept, amounting to more and more. And it just, people were getting treated like crap. They didn't care. You had your select group, and that's all that people worried about. And I actually had, what is that lady's name? She's out of Washington, I think, or Portland area. And she told me, she's like, we need somebody that's not been on the EC. We need somebody that's not been on the Admiralty board. We need somebody that's not the good old boy club. And I think that you should run again. I said, well, not be known. She's like, everybody knows you because of membership services. She's like, you sent a welcome letter with your signature on it. She's like, people know you. And well, here I am. I won't be doing it again, though. Everybody's like, you need to run again after the next administration. I'm like, no. I'm not doing this again.
Thank you for the advice. I know what not to do.
And if you're there and you want to be CS and you've not sat on the Admiralty board or the executive committee, come talk to me. I'll talk you out of it.
What
I was
if
going to
you-
say,
what-
that's just
what if
guarantees that you don't know what
have-
you're getting yourself.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Quick question, brother.
What's up?
Why do you keep threatening to put my name in the pot?
Because if you're a Marine, you can do it. Marines can handle anything. I mean, Marines, when they die, they go to hell to regroup. So you tell me one thing why a U.S. Marine cannot handle anything, any situations that they are placed into.
Yes, but you realize the only thing I'm not going to handle is my wife ready to break my neck.
You'll be all right. My
She'll
wife
get
wants to
yours
break my
first.
neck daily.
She'll get yours first.
She'd be doing me a favor before Amber gets me. It's all good.
Hey, how close those two got when you were here? We'd both be up shit creek.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'd rather have your wife strangle me than my wife, because if my wife strangles me, she's probably going to quarter me and split me in half
I think she.
Before
drawn
she
and
strangles
quartered.
you.
before she strangles me, and she's watching too. But let me tell you, you know what my wife did today? It was so cute. Okay, so my wife has a thing for turtles. She will stop the car middle of traffic to pick up a turtle. So she was driving the crew van, and she stopped and did not want to be able to go around. And so one of the train conductors got out to go and get the turtle. Turns out it was a big snapper, and it was trying to eat him up. And Amber was laughing her butt off. She said she almost peed herself. But she will not pass a turtle. I kid you not. Like, I've seen her go all the way down a mile to come around and come all the way back to move a little turtle.
She's got that soft spot for turtles.
Well, that's about the only thing soft spot she got. If it's me, she'd run me over, back me up, and
No,
then spin out again.
she wouldn't have married you if she didn't have a soft spot for you.
Yeah.
No, she's just glutton for punishment. She'll tell you, if you ask her why she married me, she'll tell you that she makes dumb decisions.
Hey,
Is that true, Amber?
I'll move most turtles out, but when they got the tail, nope.
That's why you take a shovel and just scoot their butts all the way across.
Yeah, well.
If they bite a shovel, by God, let them have it.
Yeah, we got turtles out here that will eat the shovel.
Yeah. And the hands holding it.
Well, guys, I'm going to cut it short. I still have to shower and shave. See, look, I told you I make stupid choices. This is what she says when I ask her why she married me. It's okay. I kind of love it just a little bit, just maybe about that much, just that much now. So yeah,
Don't plan on getting any sleep tonight, Steve.
I'll be up before she gets home. I'm safe. I'll be snuggling the dog.
I didn't think you wanted that sort of thing to be public knowledge, but okay.
I like the baby girl. So we got two dogs. We got one that's named Bailey and one name's Baby Girl. They were small beagles, and so when we went to look at these dogs, I bypassed the runt, which is Baby Girl, and I went straight to my dog, which is the white one. It came directly toward me. Everybody else avoided me. Well, this dog that's mine is no way it's a damn beagle because this thing is massive. And yeah. I like Baby Girl better because she's a small 15-pound lap dog versus the 50-pound other dog. So that's my Baby Girl. That's who I cuddle with when Amber's not here. And then John Rogers gets to have sponge baths with nurses. So, I mean, some of us are having a better night.
Hey, my nurses have been adorable.
Yeah, remember, no touchy.
Don't worry about me. I'm fine.
I'd hate to see sexual harassment charges and they bump your ass out the door.
No.
That was the least convincing no I've heard in months.
John, I've known you for a decade.
Well, there is that.
Trust me.
Except for they wouldn't boot him out of the door. They'd just give him a 10 and 2.
No, they'd roll his ass out in the gurney and leave him in the parking lot.
Hey, look, I am a dirty old man. What can I say?
Yeah, we know. All right, guys, I am out. I've got to shower, shave. Everybody have a good night. I'm out.
Have a good one, Steve. Happy birthday tomorrow.
Thank you, bud. You all have a good night.
Happy birthday.
Enjoy your mean weenies. So
Boy, he thought
Okay,
it was quiet.
someone
when he came.
don't hurry up to speak up. I mean,
That's why I said it. He
I think
thought
I've
it was
said
quiet
enough.
when he came in.
Yeah, no. I'm just-
okay. Hey, reminder that the next edition of the CQ submissions for all sorts of things that you can submit is June 15th. So you got to get your submissions in. Reports from our vaulted executive committee, which includes me,
Remember.
and articles. If you got an article, send it in. Pictures of an event.
I have people.
And
from that.
one guy used to do cartoons for us. I wish we had one of those in there. But
No.
June 15th is the deadline for the next one. Hopefully we'll have something about the election. Of course, the virtual IC. But we will be dedicating the CQ, this coming up CQ, to TJ Feldman and her memory. So get your quotes, your
Just on his
thoughts in.
nomination.
oh,
And remember, people can start announcing their intentions for nominations on June 1st. So that's what?
You know why he wasn't opening that one? Just something just got asked. By the way, Steve just got access to the CS email last show. Basically, it popped in last show. So you can email Steve at cs@sfi.org now.
He said it. He said it that He said it that weekend that it's intermittent.
Yes.
Which is why.
Better than what
Yeah.
it was.
Well, he's going to be a little bit too busy for the next couple of days, so.
Yeah, that's fine. Just throw it in the box.
I'll make
Hey,
sure
he's
you
the
get
one.
it.
If you're gonna come onto the show and say I haven't seen a Starfleet Cross thing come across my table, well, guess what? Everyone's gonna send him a Starfleet
Yeah,
Cross.
now. Oh, yeah. The where you submit is starfleetcq@sfi.org. Just a reminder. So.
Sorry, Jeff. I wasn't trying to.
Not for the Starfleet Cross. That's
No, that would be for the communique submissions to
right. I was just
Dennis Rader.
clarifying
Dennis has
that
done
to
an
anyone listening.
absolutely fantastic job as our editor in chief. So,
I'm not inclined that way. I have people in my chapter that are much more inclined that way. One's a formal journalist, so you know.
Really?
well.
Yep.
What type of letters, articles did you write?
The stuff I've seen him write is human interest, but from what I understand, I mean, he did it as a career for about 20, 25 years. So he's probably written almost everything because he's worked for a variety of small town newspapers. So he's probably wrote and copy for all sorts of stuff. I haven't dug into it. The stuff that I have seen has generally been human interest. Actually, he did an article, I think, it was either 16 or 17, about the club, like about the chapter, and that went national and was carried by, I think, the Sun Corp, and they put it in every paper they had. So,
Hey, Jeff. I got a suggestion for you for the CQ. Could you talk to Erin and maybe have her get somebody to do an article on Gathertown?
On the Gathertown?
Yeah, because they're going to use Gathertown for the virtual IC.
I hope she does. Erin, if you're listening.
She's on vacation.
She's in Mexico.
It would
We're
really.
on our honeymoon.
I found it.
Do you mean that they don't have internet in Mexico?
Well, I'm
yes,
just saying
but
it would be a good idea.
I'd have better things to do, so I figured
there's a small learning curve to look Gathertown, so.
Yeah, well, hopefully she'll send something out on that, and I will encourage her to have someone write an article about it.
Well, on the 28th at 1 p.m., there will be an AMA hosted by Jeff talking about the VIC, and one of the questions will be about Gathertown.
Okay.
Well, maybe at the AMA, make the suggestion to her that something be put in the CQ about how to log in, navigate, set up an avatar, all those things. Because there is some setup work if you're going to actually participate in that part of the VIC.
There you go, Richard.
Thank you kindly.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's why I put it in the R1 status report for this month, that it's a good idea for people to, log in and explore Gathertown now before the IC.
I know Region 2 did their award ceremony in Gathertown. And I think there was one other region that might have used it.
Yeah, I haven't even fully explored it yet, but there is, when I set up my account in that, there is some steps to take and all that kind of stuff. So it's a good idea people do that in advance and not the day of the VIC.
True. Now,
Oh, Fran.
if you remember the original Nintendo's Zelda,
Yep,
the movement's kind of like Zelda.
right.
So it's kind of that cartoonish, that style cartoon setup. And I
Right.
can tell you that there's going to be some hidden rooms. We're planning a what is that called?
An auction.
Scavenger.
No, there you go, a scavenger hunt.
Yeah,
Within the Gather Town, they've set up gardens, they've set up a beach side setup, they've set up libraries, and they did set up conference rooms with blackboards. And we went, that might not be a good idea. So the blackboards
right.
went away. But they are working on it, and I know Ed Kunis has been helping create some of the stuff so that it has some more graphics things in it. And yeah. So Mike had some experience with it. How long did it take you, Mike, to set up your character?
I don't know what Mike's experience was, but it didn't take long to set it up. It's just there are multiple steps, and it's. I don't want people to expect that they're going to log in the day of the VIC, and then they're going to be surprised and say, "Well, why do I have to do all this stuff?"
Yeah, and I know that she's currently working on Erin and her husband have been working on a general what could happen type thing, because I guess on her daughter's tablet it wouldn't log in, so they actually found the workaround to fix it so that the Apple tablet would log in. So
Right.
she is working on a article that will be up on the website that could all be put in the CQ as well.
Yeah.
That will be basic. If you have this problem, here's how you fix it. So she
Right.
is working on that.
Okay. Because not everybody's going to go look at the websites. We know that, but
Yeah, but the website's going to have the list of the schedule and everything.
right. I understand that. I'm just saying a lot of people just want to go. They don't do the prep work to say, "Oh, well, at this time I'm going to go there," and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's that pay attention to the fine print that they need to get to. They never look, but they're supposed to get to it.
So basically, Ryan set it up so that people could pop in, and I think that they're going to do some other testing. They wanted to have people test it out to see how it would work before the big conference. So that's part of the reason why, like, the regions have been told, if you need it, let us know. That way we can get people testing it.
Right.
So
Always a good idea.
we are also planning on doing some load testing on the different platforms for the video. So we're going to be testing soon, doing 3 or 4 streams to the YouTube channels type deal, just to see if it works out. That way we know in advance, hey, this might not show up on the YouTube, it's going to be here. That way, the day of, we're not going to get a surprise.
Yeah, there's what Mike just said that about the once you get your avatar set up and a few minor details, explore the rooms, you're good to go. And that's what I'm just suggesting people do in advance.
Yeah.
But I think an article in the CQ would be excellent to do to get it out to people beforehand.
True. We got one more CQ before that? Jeff.
That's right.
Okay. What else? How's gaming going?
You asking me?
Yeah, you're in charge of tactical, aren't you?
Yeah, and unfortunately, no one is like volunteering to help out. I got one email yesterday from someone that wants to be a specialist for one game system, and I'm definitely going to snag them for that. But I'm looking for people to be considered specialists in tactical for the various different games, and tactical covers everything from board games to mobile games to online to card games, anything. So
Mm-hmm.
Any kind of game.
VCS did limit us to it has to be Trek related at this point, but then we can expand later. But that's. But
So if anybody's got some experience being a DM and knows the Star Trek RPG
right,
adventures, please let us know, because there's a few of us that want to get that type of game going, and maybe twice a month have a fleet-wide role-playing game.
right, and that's what tactical is supposed to be doing, is setting up
haven't done it in
schedules and stuff
24
for
years.
that kind of stuff.
I've got to get my books back and start reading them. But yeah,
I haven't played the RPG in years.
Yeah.
So,
That's the relatively new one, isn't it?
no,
No.
what I'm talking about is
No, but the
tabletop
one.
that was from the late 60s, early 70s. Started in 68. No, started in 69.
So I turned my virtual background off. So this over here, I'm trying to see what you guys are seeing. Okay, so
Hold on.
all those
Give me a
bookshelves,
second.
that's all RPG stuff. The bookshelf closest to the bookshelf closest to the wall that has the big dragon up on top, that whole bookshelf is all space related RPG stuff.
All right.
The rest of the other bookshelves are all like D&D, Pathfinder, and all that. But I have various game systems on that bookshelf over there. Everything from Star Trek to Starfinder, Babylon 5, Star Wars, any kind of space RPG I can find goes onto that bookshelf.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
And as you can see, I have a huge green screen.
And more games on the other side of it.
Oh yeah, those games are just all board games.
Yeah, I can't physically put all my games in one room.
I know we're talking about games. I'm going to cut to one thing real quick. Paul is talking about the 90K ruck to remember. There are rucks around this country and Canada right now going on to try and help him the 22 a day. And the more money that can be raised, the better, especially for helping some veterans that don't have any benefits at all, living on the side of the street. And one of the things that Drew does a lot is help with that. But Paul was talking about this a couple months ago, and they're definitely going to be doing that. I think that one is a Canada ruck, right? Specific. And it takes 10 seconds. So, you know anything about it, Richard?
No, because Paul and me do not have the same endurance.
Well, just because you don't have the endurance, knowing about it to spread good news around your area can help out.
Yeah, but I don't know what ruck he's talking about. I mean, I'm sorry.
I just, in that regards, with homeless veterans, I just got 2 more companies that are willing to hire them and pick them up wherever they need to get them until they can get them to an apartment. So,
Yeah, get us that link, Paul, and I'll pop it open, and that way people can actually see it. But if you're in a local area and you got anybody that has served and has PTSD or depression, these type of programs actually help a lot with that, because we lose way too many people, veterans or not, from depression. And the effects of war is even worse than regular depression. So,
Yeah.
sorry, that
I'll
was kind
add in something there too. Support your local VSO, veteran service organizations.
mm-hmm.
They do excellent work for helping the veterans. My local one actually knows that I have a spare bedroom in my house, and that if there's a veteran that is in need and not in this area, that they can come here to my home.
I'll remember that.
Anytime you're passing through, bring your bedroll.
A T-shirt and a floor, I'm good. I don't know how many times I've slept on rubble.
Hey, I'm going to turn my background off again for a minute because I want you guys to do me a favor, since we're talking about kind of stuff. I got 3 books on a as part of an auction, and I don't know what they are, and they're Starfleet books or Star Trek related books. So can you zoom the screen in if anyone can tell me what these are? This is Line Officer Requirements, Volume 1, Command and Operations. I've never seen this book before. It's sold originally for $12.95. There's no copyright information inside of it. And then it came with, and this is why I turned the green or the virtual background off, because this has green on the front. This one is Volume 2, Staff Officer Requirements.
Is there an organization name in it?
No. And this one originally sold for $13.95. There's no copyright information, no dates.
No preface?
Nope. This is Line Officer Requirements, Starfleet Academy Training Command, Supplement.
In engineering.
Wow.
And then it also had in there this book, which is a USS Enterprise Officer's Manual for $14.95. If anyone has information on what these books might have been
That's
from,
the motion picture. That's from the 90s.
yeah.
So that
But
would
if anyone
be
has information, this at the bottom it says Starfleet Publications Office. That's all it says.
oh,
And there's
God.
nothing inside. And one of the things that I'm interested in, because it might be worth some money, this one is a misprint. It goes from page 5 to page 9. And they're not ripped out. It's just they were not included in this book. So it's got a brief history of Starfleet, and then it goes to rule number 13 of an officer's an officer's code.
Huh.
The original edition had spirals.
What's that?
The original edition had spirals out of. They were bound in the spiral thing. It looks like.
No, these aren't punched or anything. They're completely bound and it's got good binding. So, but I've never seen them. They were just included in a auction of some other sci-fi RPG stuff that I got.
Well, they look interesting.
They are. They
Yeah,
are.
I just got them this week, so I'm interested in finding out where they're from.
And I see them on
eBay.
eBay. That's why I'm.
Hmm.
I mean, they have lots of graphics and stuff, so
It keeps on fizzing out
yeah,
because of your background.
yeah. I'm sorry.
That's quite the range, June. From $9.95 to $89.
The very first ship in the back of the volume 1 and in recognition, it's interesting. The first one is Battleship MK. Can't read that. Project Excelsior.
TMP diagrams.
MKXV.
There was 2 different versions of it. One had the coils like I was talking about. One's like yours.
Oh yeah.
And there, in the coil page one, there is a credit page.
Is there?
Yeah, it would have been on the left side, so they might not have printed it. Crap! Take them off. Take them off and.
I got to find out which mouse is which.
That's the mouse for this one.
Now, what do I do?
Just click the multi. One of the ones with the T
That one?
squares.
It's interesting. It's got a
Oh,
Kevin,
you are blinded.
yeah. I can't see that, dude.
Yeah, all you see is reflection.
So back on this one page, on page 120, it has
Nope.
well,
All blocked out.
119 has about worker bees, and then the next page it has the S2B wasp killer bee,
Let's see if it shows it better now.
which I've never seen that, which is a worker bee with a side-mounted photon torpedo and phaser cannon.
I'm trying to see if there's any. If you put in just the enterprise one, Google that. It's got all types of links below the eBay.
Right. But I'm not sure if the enterprise one was actually connected to these other ones.
And the other one was the, what was it?
Line officer requirements from Starfleet Academy Training Command, revised volume 1 of a 2-volume set. Command and operations covers strategy and tactics, uniforms and insignia, Class 1 starship, fire control ordnance, enlisted commissioned ranks, bridge navigation, fleet organization plan.
And that one's available on
$15.
Yeah. That one's on Amazon, but
Eric, I have looked all through these books and there's no publisher information anywhere. The only thing it does say is a single line credit at the bottom of the first page that says text copyright 1987 D. Schmidt. And that's SCHMIDT.
So the normal way you spell Schmidt.
Yeah, but there's 2 lines above it, just says all rights reserved. No part of this publication may be transmitted, stored in a retrieval system, or reproduced in any form or by any means. Text copyright 1987 D. Schmidt. That's all it says. Doesn't say if it's part of a gaming system or what.
S-I-N. What are you doing?
Well, if it was published in the United States, it should have had a Library of Congress reference number,
Right, but there isn't one.
which tells me it probably was not produced originally in the United States.
Right.
they
The only thing I keep seeing is this reference to Starfleet Academy Training Command.
yeah, but you're looking in the book. Have you Googled it?
No, like I said, I just got these.
Yeah.
I just got them this week, and I've been kind of tied up doing website work. I haven't had a chance to really research it.
Yeah, I think Eric is probably right. It's probably fan work and self-printed.
It might have been part of one of the RPG supplement for in the 80s, you know.
Yeah, and it does say 80,
Because
87.
You can get it for $13 at Walmart. Not kidding.
Sure.
I know.
Well, like I said, I got a large lot. I got like 35 books in a lot, and I only paid $50 for the whole lot. So,
Well, if the shipping wouldn't kill me, I would buy lots too.
yeah.
But I just pulled up under waynesbooks.com and fan written source books. So it's actually a fan written source book.
Probably.
Yeah, I see that's what Dave is saying too. He said the graphics look like FASA stuff.
Yeah, it looks similar, but FASA put FASA on their stuff, so
Right.
Yeah, they were shameless about putting themselves on it like every page.
Right.
It's kind of like right now in D&D, they've got expansion books for
Right.
different supplements and all. And as long as it doesn't do certain things, they can sell it. I get back to you in one moment, Mike. They don't have to pay royalties and can still sell it. But if they refer to copyrighted materials in any way, then they can't sell it. So
Right.
you see a lot of the
So I'm gonna hold this up real close to the camera because the logo is kind of different. That's in the center of the book from anything I've seen before.
yeah, that was, if you look on our logo, the wreath below it,
Hmm.
and then that would have been what their personal organization would have been.
Yeah, but it's not the typical type of feathering and that goes around the, because it's got some like lines drawn through it that gives it breaks that I don't recognize. It's not. I mean, I don't know how clear it can come, but
Almost looked like it was meant to be used for with a stencil.
see how it's kind of like the feathers divided?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I haven't seen that type of feathering like that on any of the logos that I recall.
right. That's the thing with a lot of the fan stuff, because you can't use copyrighted stuff. They make up their own decals and all. And when Gene bought back some of the deltas and allowed them to be public domain, a lot of the stuff changed so that more people could use the basic deltas. And Mike, to answer your question, um, right now I'm trying to work on tuning my printer in, so I haven't gotten any weapons made yet. But we got to start doing them for the Sci-Fi Bartow in February.
And what printer do you guys have?
We both have Gantry Pro 3D, Atom Labs printers. Mike from the Andromeda has the Creality 3 printers, and
And an
what,
Adams Lab printer.
what is your, and an Adams Lab, and what's your small printer?
XYZ. DaVinci.
DaVinci XYZ.
DaVinci Pro something.
And then I'm looking at, as soon as I get the money together, buying a full sun QQ5S, I think it is, which is a Delta printer.
Have you guys ever heard of one called an Artillery Sidewinder SWX2 3D printer?
Not
heard of it.
They run for about $470. So since you brought up 3D printing, I went to a convention up here in Columbus called MarkCon, and they had an intro to 3D printing for dummies conference that I went to because I'm interested in getting a 3D printer. The guy who ran it, it was quite interesting. He is he's a microbiologist, but he does 3D printing for Children's Hospital, and they have a huge 3D printer at this Children's Hospital that he works at, and he runs that department. And they actually took sonograms of a of conjoined twins that were inside his mother, and they used the sonograms to create a 3D printed version of the fetuses so that the surgeons could actually hold it and turn them and look at how they were going to try to separate them, because they did a surgery and they separated them while they were still in the womb.
Sweet.
So it was interesting. He was telling us about, you know, how meticulous this printer was to be able to 3D print the fetuses. So it's, you know, and then he said that, you know, he does a lot of 3D printing for cosplay and stuff because he's a big cosplayer. And the printer that he uses at home is this artillery Sidewinder one. And he said he suggests it for anyone that can, you know, get 470 bucks up as a first printer, because he said it pretty much worked out of the box.
The main thing is ours works, but to tune it, you have to learn
The software.
the different software. So
Right.
I started with using the same software Drew's using, and I noticed it wasn't getting as some of the fine details. Like before, when I level using paper,
Mhm.
I got it down to where I 3D printed a mini, a D&D figure.
Right.
And the first time I printed it with the software Drew was using, it was potholed real bad.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't really tell what it looked like. So using newer software, I was able to get it to be pretty, you know, it looked like it was supposed to look. The problem was the software, I was having, the software doesn't do fan adjustments easily. And so I had to babysit it. Otherwise, it was globbing up with extra filament. Since then, I've been experimenting with different ways to level the bed with feeler gauges, and I have to adjust the extruder Z start level, because now what I'm having is it's actually coming off the bed, even though it's perfectly level. At some point, it starts peeling off the bed. So it's one of those things of trial and error and getting it better and better. My next, the printer that I'm looking at is a different setup. The printer that you showed us is basically similar to what me and Drew have.
Okay.
Including size. This is a different board layout, but there's a platform set up for it for the same thing. This is a gantry style printer. Basically, on the gantry, the bed goes back and forth, but the extruder goes up and down.
Right.
On the Delta printers, the bed stays level and the extruder moves everywhere.
Right.
Then there's the resin printers where the bed moves, but the rest of the system stays still. And it actually uses a laser to get each layer on. And the resin printers are made for the really fine details. So, like, if you want to make little minis all day long, you use a resin printer, but it's more expensive.
Right.
But the one that I'm looking at is what a lot of the cosplayers are using to make their swords and really longer items faster, because they print them in a smaller round build plate, but it prints quickly going up.
Right.
But it's a lot of learning, and I can tell you, if you're not a patient person, it will frustrate you.
Well, I am certainly not a patient person. That's why every time somebody talks about 3D printing, I'm always like, it looks too fiddly to me.
The biggest thing is the maintenance.
Right.
Because what a lot of people think is you get a printer, you put the filament in, and it should work. Well, there's the maintenance of cleaning out the nozzles and cleaning the beds, and even dusting comes into play. So if you have a house that has a lot of dust, yeah, good luck.
So, how do you guys? Do you just USB wire connect to your laptops, or
That's a resin print of the interior of a runabout. It's HO scale.
Okay. However, our printers couldn't print that.
yeah?
Wait a minute. Repeat the question one more time.
Okay. So, what's your connection between your computer and your printer?
Cable.
It is a USB cable or a SD card.
Okay. Here's my question: can you use a Wi-Fi adapter that has a USB connection?
The Wi-Fi adapter, no, but what you can do is buy a Raspberry Pi. You can plug in 4 printers into one Raspberry Pi, and then the Wi-Fi from the Raspberry Pi you can control from anywhere using Octoprint.
Okay.
It's made to control it that way. Now, the printer I'm looking at getting, I think we saw it already has Wi-Fi. The Folsom has the Wi-Fi adapter built in.
Oh, that's cool.
So if that one works out, yes, I can pretty much have my laptop anywhere and run it.
Yeah, because that's what I need to. Because of the way my house is set up, I would have to have the printer on a solid surface over in the corner where I can't get, anything else. So,
Yeah. One thing that I did recently, I actually put in I set up an office and I built a Harbor Freight desk that includes like a built-in vise on the side, pegs and all. That's now my printer station, and it's a nice solid desk. I can put all the tools I use underneath, everything else, and I've got enough space to put 2 of the large form. Now, I know somebody was looking at doing aluminum extruding and stuff like that. Those are really expensive printers. They actually, a lot of those printers also do CNC cutting. The ones that can do the aluminum extruding. They're running $2,000 to $4,000 starting price. But so to do the aluminum weapons, you're not necessarily going to be printing them with a filament tube like we're doing. What you're more likely going to do is you're going to print them as a CNC cut. So they're going to actually cut out each piece, and then you're going to put them together from those cuts. Yeah, the people that do the manufacturing tubing, if they have the CNC machine, basically you can take that CNC tubing and each part gets cut out, and then you put it together, and it looks like and feels like a real weapon. So if you were to do, say, the laser printed or the CNC printed phaser rifle like ours, it would be a lot heavier and have a smoother feel to it. However, the 3D printed one, the guy that designed that one actually designed it to have either a metal or a square dowel in it to hold everything together. So it looks like a real rifle, and it's similar to like the Mandalorian weapons that all the cosplayers use. So easy to transport. If you have to break it down, you can put Velcro to Velcro it together. But the only problem with the metal versions of them is some of the cons don't allow you to bring in metal weaponry. So even the rifles, if it's a fake rifle, if it's metal, they don't allow it in. Yeah, slinging it, that's one thing. It's more of because of they don't want real weapons. They only allow foam or plastic. So like the knife that I made, I gave that to one of Klingon leaders because sometimes they don't allow wood in, and a lot of their bat lifts and weaponry was made out of wood. So the plastic they'll allow in because, well, it's lightweight and you're less likely to hurt somebody. But when it comes to the metal, they're like, nope, let's not do that. Have a good day, Donnie.
See you, Donnie.
But I was going to buy my second printer next week, and then the stock market kind of tanked. I work for one of the biggest companies in the world, and they didn't meet their quotas, so it's looking like I got another 3 or 4 months before I can buy that printer. Now, as far as having it on your wall, that piece will look amazing when you get it put together because it's got the realistic look and feel. So it is 12:18. We've been going for an hour and almost 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I know Drew's got to get up and take his daughter to work, and I got to drive home tonight. But we're going to wrap the show up. Remember, next week, Saturday at 1 p.m., Jeff will be hosting Ask Me Anything with the special guest will be the VIC crew. So
And get your questions in.
send them to me at either
Send them to me or to Sean on Facebook. We'll make sure
Yeah.
Jeff gets them.
and I'll make sure that there's a list and they will be answered that day. And I believe we'll have somebody there that could actually pop in, and hopefully you get to see some new stuff from the website and all. And some of the artists are pretty amazing with what they've been putting in. So y'all have a good night, and let me thank you, Richard, Jeff, Kevin and John. And from the Russell camp, live long and prosper.
Peace and long life.
Yep, that's true.
And where is it?